What is going on, guys, and welcome to the video. This is a follow-up video to my why do so many people fail at diets video, where I basically touch on one reason why I believe that the substantial amount of the population fails at diets. Obviously this video is going to be about macros, and I have decided to go ahead and start making an informational series where it's going to be a series of short videos. My goal is under 5 minutes, where I touch on different topics that I feel are important for the common person to know as far as dieting, working out, and basically health and fitness. So I really just want to equip you guys with my knowledge from what I've learned over the years, because I really want you guys to be able to chase after your health and fitness goals and accomplish them just as I have over the years. So to start, we are talking about macros today. Now, when someone says macros, what they're referring to is a macronutrient. So from the name, we can determine macro meaning large, nutrients meaning nutrients. These are the nutrients that we should be eating in large amounts for the health of our body. So that is what macros are. There are three main categories of macros, one being carbs, another being fats, and the last being protein. Now there are subcategories within there. For example, with carbs, there are simple and complex carbs. Simple carbs would be something like table sugar. Complex carbs would be something like whole grains, brown rice, whole wheat bread, stuff like that. There are three categories under fats as well: saturated, unsaturated, and trans fats. Now the subcategories aren't super important for what we are talking about. So I'm trying to keep it as basic as possible. Don't get me wrong, eating an excess amount of saturated fat is important, but I'm just trying to keep it very simple for you guys and just explain what a macro is so you can get started on your fitness journey. So there are, like I said, the three main categories are proteins, carbs, and fats, and that's really kind of what I want you to focus on. Now, when people say that they're tracking macros, that is what they're tracking. They are tracking the amount of protein they eat, the amount of carbs that they eat, and the amount of fats that they eat. So you can kind of see how this would be much more flexible than a set meal plan or like eating like a carnivore diet or something like that. Because let's say that you wake up one day, and the example that I used in my last video was, I think, a donut. So let's say you wake up one day and you're like, man, I really want a donut today. And let's say you're gonna have that in the afternoon. So basically what you can do is you have, let's just say you're gonna eat 300 grams of carbs that day, 100 grams of protein, and like 50 grams of fat. Okay, so you have those numbers, and throughout that day you can save enough carbs and enough fats to eat that donut. So you can focus on much more lean meals, lower in carbohydrates, and basically just straight protein. So then at that night, you can have your donut, you can still hit your 300 grams of carbohydrates, your 50 grams of fat, and your protein goal, and you're set for the day. And you know, that's really why I preach this approach, and that's why I've loved this approach for so long. And that's why I believe this is so sustainable, because you can still treat yourself to a donut or ice cream, or you can go out to eat. And that is really just, that's why I love this approach. So that's basically what a macro is. It's really not too complex. I just went to the basics for you guys, and I'm gonna do a little like summary real quick. So this is what you need to know and take away from this video, okay? So macronutrients, you need to eat these in large quantities for the health of your body. There are three main categories: carbs, proteins, and fats. These are what people track when they say that they're tracking macros. Now, we can get into the app that they track it on and everything in another video, which I will make after this, but that is what they're tracking. And now you see why this can be a much more flexible approach than, let's just say, a meal plan. I hope you guys kind of learned a little bit and feel a little more informed about macronutrients. Stay tuned for my next one. I'm gonna go into how to make a successful diet plan with macros.